Donald Trump's new running mate. He's the guy he wants to have as vice president to carry out his wishes and unlawful acts while he is in this presidency if he should win. So Donald Trump has one goal that he wants, and that is to fire the people who are administrators in the federal government. Those are tens of thousands of jobs, and they affect a lot of minorities. The federal government has always been a place where people who were unable to find jobs in private businesses because of racism, or maybe because they're overweight, or maybe because they're over age 35 or 40, or for other reasons, but they are good workers, able to work. The government likes to keep people working, and they have lots of jobs. So they put people who need jobs, who want jobs, who can work in jobs, and a lot of people have their careers in government administration, especially federal government administration, and they depend on these jobs to support their families, to support their homes, to raise their children, to have vacations, and also for retirement. However, Trump has one plan. Hold on a minute. I've got a little problem here. Just a second. Hold on. So as I was saying, Trump has one plan, and that is to get rid of these people, mainly women, minorities, older people. Some of them have 20, 30 years of working in the government and who are protected from firing by unions, but they are at-will employees and can be easily gotten rid of.
In the United States, right? So, let me give you a couple examples. So one of the things I've always been very sympathetic to is this idea that we don't have a real constitutional republic anymore. What we have is an administrative state, right? The administrative state controls everything, right?
So he's talking about the clerks,
when Donald Trump wins,
managers.
He can't even sometimes get his people in core positions of authority in the administrative state. It's like, well, do we have a constitutional republic? The Founding Fathers actually created a very powerful chief executive, a very powerful president. But if he can't even fire the people in his own administration, is this really a successful republic?
He wants to fire everybody.
So a lot of conservatives have said we should deconstruct the administrative state. We should basically eliminate the administrative state. And I'm sympathetic to that project, but another option is that we should just seize the administrative state for our own purposes. We should fire all of the people. I think Trump is going to run again in 2024. I think he'll probably win again in 2024. And he'll win by a margin such that he will be the president of the United States in January of 2025. I think that what Trump should do, if I was giving him one piece of advice, fire every single mid-level bureaucrat, every civil servant in the administrative state, replace them with our people, and when the courts, because you will get taken to court, and then when the courts stop you, stand before the country like Andrew Jackson did and say the Chief Justice has made his ruling, now let him enforce it. Because this is, I think, a constitutional level crisis.
In fact, there's so little daylight between him and Trump that even Biden pointed it out.
They're calling Trump on the issues. They're calling Trump on the issues. So I don't see any difference.
So here's the gamble by Trump. He feels so confident in this election that he chose someone in J.D. Vance who is a carbon copy of him. He didn't choose someone who might offer a permission structure for black voters or female voters or Hispanic voters to come on board. He just went full MAGA. Does that reveal how confident Donald Trump feels right now? Absolutely. But it also creates a major liability for him because Trump's agenda is not popular. And by association, Vance's identical agenda is also not popular. Our job is to ensure that people know what that agenda is because once they know, Americans aren't going to vote for it.
So what he's saying is all of your relatives, you have relatives who maybe your aunt works in some way with the government. Check with your relatives. You know, that person's going to be unemployed, looking for rent, looking for mortgage payments, looking for child care, looking for food. So you're not voting just for yourself. You're voting for all of your extended family who have jobs that are in some way contracted with the federal government, as an administrator, as a civil service worker. You'll be surprised how many people you have that are in that position. And Trump and now his vice president choice both have the same goal. Get rid of these people. The Republicans have already chosen 20,000 people on a list that can immediately come in and take over those jobs. And they're looking for 50,000 people to come in and take over those jobs. Immediately declare that those people are fired. Bring in the Trump people in those jobs. They will make your relatives money. They will make your parents money. And, all of these people that we think that are happy because they have a job and they feel secure will find out that they are going to be unemployed. Now, the other thing that happens is when you are fired from the government, you lose a lot of things. You don't leave with your full packages. So some people will lose retirement. Some people will lose their vacation that they may have accrued. Some people may lose their health benefits. They'll immediately have to pay extraordinary levels of monthly fees to insurance companies in order to have health insurance. They're going to lose access to their doctors. They're going to lose access to their mental health care. They're going to lose access to retirement benefits that they may have accrued. All of these things. So your vote is very, very important. This is not an election you can poo-poo and go out dancing and forget about. This is an election that's going to have a direct effect on people you know. Day one, Trump says he's going to come in day one, act as a king. He's going to make certain proclamations. This is one proclamation he's going to make. You are fired. He likes that phrase. He's going to say it to the government workers. You are fired and your replacements are already hired. So, vote. Get your relatives to vote and make sure they know that the candidate they have to vote for is Joe Biden. And don't be afraid of the gaffes that Joe Biden makes, because a lot of other people make them. Trump's past presidency was full of gaffes, and you know how crazy he was always looking when he had to do a presentation. It was always embarrassing. George W. Bush used to make a lot of gaffes, especially in his speeches. And then we had Ronald Reagan, who was in full Alzheimer's while he was president. His wife, Nancy, used to lead him around the stage. She used to whisper lines to him. She used to tell him who he was talking to. But she was his leader on the stage. We didn't have all of the surveillance equipment that we can see this stuff more clearly now, but this is not new for a president. Joe Biden can do the job. He's as equipped as our past presidents, and don't worry about how old he is. We are all getting older, and Joe Biden is competent And with his current administration, I think Americans are very, very happy. And we don't need the lies of Trump. You'll notice that Donald Trump's wife is gone. She doesn't want to be involved with this mess. And that his daughter is moving out of the country with her family and husband. What's going on? They know things that are happening, and they know that things are going to turn into fights, because when all of these people lose their jobs, there will be fights, there will be gunplay, and it is going to be extremely violent. So I just want to let you know, this is what the election is about, and I'll say more later. Like and subscribe. Bye.